Well, welcome back to American Agenda. That was a clip from Chris Wallace's exclusive interview with President Trump over the weekend. The Fox News anchor has taken a vocal stand against the president on multiple occasions, and in this conversation, he pressed him on his response to COVID-19, the Black Lives Matter movement, and the 2020 election. That brings us to our tweet of the day. One said, Chris Wallace gave Joe Biden a puff piece interview and then goes for President Trump's jugular vein in today's interview. What a weasel. His vendetta against Donald Trump has been clear since the first debate. This is not how you treat the president of the United States. So is mainstream media unfair to the president? Here to weigh in, our A-plus panel for the day, author and Newsmax columnist Tom Basile and creator of BlondePolitician.com, Camille Wead. Tom, you were sitting in this seat last week, so I'm going to start with you. Show respect for you for being here. Tell me, what did you think of the interview? Was it fair as far as what you saw?
Well, I think it was a combination of things. I think that there was some, anti-Trump hysteria on display where Wallace really took him to task about a lack of a COVID strategy, and the president didn't push back effectively enough. I mean, look. This is not all about Trump. The response to COVID is not all about Trump. And the president needs to get a little bit more comfortable, admittedly, with talking about everything that was done in March, April, and May to help set governors up for their ability to be able to respond to this. And many of them are needing to do that at this point. So I think that it was kind of a mixed bag. Just as a general rule, you never do interviews outside in 105-degree heat or whatever it was in Washington. I felt like it was a little bit defensive on the part of the president, and I do want to see Joe Biden sit in that chair for 60 minutes and answer questions and get that kind of pushback. Because he's running for president and he needs to make himself available to the American people as well.
Yeah, Tom, I think a lot of people agree with that. Camille, you watched the interview. What did you think about it?
I felt like he was really harsh on Trump. I too would like to see Joe Biden in the same position, but I also felt like Chris Wallace was kind of making his appeal to voters maybe listening that didn't know if they were pro-Trump or pro-Biden. I felt that Chris Wallace was trying to get them on his side, essentially. He said that he wasn't fake news in the interview. And then he obviously said things that weren't true of Biden wanting to not want to defund the police, which, we see that he had to fact check himself that Biden is. There are things that are in place where he wants to defund the police. And so it was kind of interesting to watch. I felt the president did a great job. A lot of people attack him on his personality, his defensiveness, and I felt that he took it really well with all the attacks that he was getting, the subtle attacks from Chris Wallace.
Tom, let me ask you this. The president has indicated they're going to start up those pressers again related to COVID. What do you think he needs to accomplish? He has a love-hate relationship with the media. Sometimes it's very good. Sometimes it comes across great. Sometimes not so great. What do you think he needs to do this go-round?
I talked about this on Newsmax's air last week, and I asked this question: are we going to see these again? And I'm glad that they are. I think that the president needs to look like he's more engaged, and I think that he also needs to leave discussion about epidemiology to the public health experts and the fact-checking of the press to the public health experts who can give people a much broader perspective on the state of the virus and how it's moving and what needs to be done. When the president is talking about the economy, when he's talking about trade, when he's talking about law and order, he's spot on. I think he should leave the public health officials like Dr. Birx and the head of the CDC and the Surgeon General to engage with the media on these issues, because they know the facts and they know fake news when they see it on these issues even better than the president does.
All right. Tom Basile, great to see you again. And Camille Wead, thank you so much for joining us today.